I feel like I'm about to say a couple or so things that could be taken as highly offensive. But I thought about it a little bit, and I said, that's only to some people. The only way it could be highly that way is if people didn't properly understand the point I'm getting to. And sometimes we don't have time to do a backlog on everything that we were getting to. You're supposed to be listening and deciding for yourself and looking things up, right? It's what we call brainstorming in the business. We're just putting ideas out there for you. We're not telling you what the hell you're supposed to think or anything otherwise. Even if I called irrational and moronic at times, that doesn't mean I'm telling you you can't be irrational and moronic. You have every opportunity to step above. And sometimes you don't even have to get any smarter. You can just say, fuck it, and let it go. And that's stepping above. There's so many ways to do things. You know, sometimes when you just can't get over that wall, it's much more productive and efficient to find a way around it. Like the Mongolians. Just heard something where the one dude that was working for that poor guy, and on this Ukrainian stuff. I've been to the Ukraine. I was there before it was as frightening to everybody as it is now. That's only because they didn't know how frightening it was. It was frightening then. That place is wow. I doubt they'll ever let me back into the Ukraine. Well, yeah, I guess that guy that covered the shit up or whatever they say, I don't know. The Attorney General is a word I hear. I guess they're looking into his stuff now. And somebody important had said he might want to look into some legal counsel himself. And I was like, oh my gosh. What I realized there, I never thought about it. And here it comes. You know, we're in a time now where they're going in and going after the cops instead of the blacks. And, you know, nobody's going to argue that the cops and everybody hasn't been against that part of the culture. The statistics, that's all I got to say about that. I don't know. That's shit that I don't talk about because I find it ludicrous in its own way. That they just keep us talking instead of, you know, working out a way to make it better. Just talk about it. Just argue about it. Fight about it sometimes, and, well, you'll be off the street for a while, 3 hots in a cot. But they're going after the cops. And if an attorney isn't a cop, I don't know how far you want to dig into this. The cops are the cops. All that. It's a whole episode that's got nothing to do with any of this other than the fact that this is the way I'm looking at it. They're going after the people that have been fucking keeping us in a hole all these years. They're going after the people at the top. However you want to look at that. What I find interesting, you take that too with that poor guy's first man. He didn't have a first lady. That was his familiar. His first man. He's in trouble. You take and look at this guy. I mean, my God. I don't know if he's in trouble or not. Who knows what the hell's going to happen with this existence we're in right now. We're certainly at a crisis point. Whether good or bad, something is going to happen. Even if it's just going back to the doldrum that we lived in before. Something's going to happen. There's no... We can act like nothing happened about so many things. There's no way what's going on right now, in my opinion, is going to just fade away and be forgotten. This has changed everything. What happens in a time of change? You pick the best route. That's all. The day you find nothing means anything at all, and you can't take it for 2 weeks, it's tearing a crack in your mind, and you finally realize if nothing means anything at all, then it's up to us to make it better. That's your way through. You're going to find a way. But they got his first man over there, and I saw the video. I got to tell you, there are things talking about how, oh, he's unzipping his pants, and they're trying to make it sound dirty, like he's unzipping his pants while he's lying on that bed there with some reporter that's a total unknown, which I can bet you $1. I'll hold this up as an emblem of $1, but I'm not going to trade you my airborne coin. This is just, what do you call it? An effigy. I bet you $1. He wasn't unzipping his pants. He wasn't. I watched that and I said, what I was betting you $1 of was that he took a picture and looked at it of this unknown reporter that he was going to have alone to himself with cops outside the door, keeping people from getting in and out and all that. He took it and looked at the picture and he said, I'll do an interview with her. I'm sure he looks at a picture of everybody that's unknown before they walk into the room. And he wasn't taking out a wireless mic. What I saw him doing when I saw that video was he had his hand in his pants. He's touching her shirt. Had his hands in his pants, and he was repositioning his dick. He was adjusting it to get it to a place where it would be easier for it to get hard, because he's in a day and age where, it just doesn't care anymore. And for him not to move it and turn it up that way and get some sort of stimulation, it might grow hard. And see, as I said, he's in a day and age where the dick doesn't care, but he does. He doesn't care about even having some sort of sensual relations with this girl. All he cares about when I see this, when I look at this despicable human being, is that he just wants to be able to humiliate somebody and make them feel small. And whereas if he were at home with his wife or even a mistress, he'd say, and he'd just forget about it. But there's somebody new that he can humiliate. And so he's working really hard. He's got his hand in his pants, pulling his dick up so it gets hard easier, the way the blood flows. You know, don't want to make it stretch against your jeans. You pull it up to the front so the jean, it doesn't have to bend, you know. You get some blood flowing and then a little bit of extra stimulation in the process of screaming and beating and fucking calling somebody a dirty little whore and don't you love me and all that stuff. He might be able to get a full erection, probably 3/4 at his age. That's not saying anything against him. That's just the way things go. Well, except for the fact that all he wants to abuse somebody. That's all. So you got this guy all around this. And, wimpy, wimpy, wimpy. Hefty, hefty, hefty. Look at that. Life on the farm. So you got that poor guy, he's got all these people around him that everybody's coming after now all of a sudden. And it makes me realize, like 6 months ago or something, I don't know when it was, 3-4 months ago, I've lost track of time. Because, well, it's just so ludicrous. I talked about the witch hunt. How they love saying it's a witch hunt, like it's a conspiracy theory. It's not even a conspiracy hypothesis as far as I'm concerned. A hypothesis at least takes some thought and putting things together, but this is just a fucking conspiracy outburst, witch hunt. And I talked about how, you know, there must have been a time when there was actually a witch and everybody went fucking ape shit and they came together and they hunted this witch down and they fucking killed her. Whatever they did, burned her up. But it became more or less an analogy later on for when they would chase down the town pump that wouldn't fuck Billy, the mayor's son. They'd say, she's a witch. And so they'd go get her, and they call it, and she's going, this is like a witch hunt. I just because I didn't fuck them, I did, what? They're gonna call me a witch now, and it just came to a point where we don't even have to call people witches anymore. We just hunt them down and burn them. But that's the thing that I was saying was that what if there really is a witch, and he's the one, and this thing that's happening, he's got his familiars, they got to get him too. This thing, the way things exploded over the last few months about everybody that's getting chased down. I don't even talk about that gay guy, Matt Gay. What is that guy from Matt Gay's? Occasionally, Cemetery Gates. That's how I remember his name. Oh yeah, down in Florida. I wasn't even thinking about him. You see how much he's fallen off my radar of things that come through. Whatever's going to happen with him happens. They'll throw it under the rug, but for a guy like him, he's not going to make it. That's my prediction. He's got too much blood on his hands, type of thing. But they came out like there was a real witch. This truly, what I saw when this started going on, when they were chasing everybody down and taking everybody's shit, all these people that are involved with that poor guy, it's like, this is like a witch hunt. And they really are trying to quell this thing, incubus, succubus, the child born should have never showed its ugly eyes.